Before I start, let me warn you about something. Not a polite warning, a serious one. If you are comfortable with your life exactly as it is right now, if you are satisfied with what you see in front of you, if you have no desire to understand why the same patterns keep repeating no matter how hard you try, then stop this video, close it, walk away. Because what I am about to tell you will not comfort you. It will not stroke your ego. It will not tell you that everything is fine and that you just need to think positive and smile more. What I am about to tell you will shatter the way you see reality, permanently. My name is Nikola Tesla. I was a scientist, an inventor, an engineer. I gave this world alternating current. I built the foundations of radio transmission. I dreamed of wireless energy for all of humanity. But none of that is why I am speaking to you today. I am speaking to you today because of something I discovered that was never written in any textbook. Something so fundamental, so dangerous to the systems of control built around human beings, that even now, long after my death, it remains buried beneath layers of distraction and noise. The secret is this. What you are looking at right now is not real. Your bank account, your relationships, the size of your home, the state of your health, the opportunities that keep arriving or keep disappearing. None of it is your present reality. All of it is your past. Every single thing you can see, touch, and measure in your life today is nothing more than old energy that has finally arrived at your doorstep. It was created weeks ago, months ago, in some cases years ago. You are not living in the present. You are living inside a delayed broadcast of your own past frequency. And here is the most important part. Most people spend every waking hour reacting to that delayed broadcast. They see the debt and feel fear. They see the empty relationship and feel loneliness. They see the missed opportunity and feel regret. And every single time they react with that emotion, they are placing a new order. An order for more of the same. They are not living their lives. They are re-recording the same frequency over and over and calling it fate. This is not fate. This is physics. And today, I am going to explain exactly how this works, why it happens, what it costs you every single day you remain unaware of it, and most importantly, what you can do right now to begin transmitting a completely different future. Are you ready? Then let us begin. Look up at the night sky on any clear night. Pick a star. Any star. What you are seeing is not that star as it exists right now. What you are seeing is the light that left that star hundreds, thousands, in some cases millions of years ago. That star may not even exist anymore. It may have collapsed and gone completely dark centuries before you were born. But to your eyes, in this moment, it is shining. It looks real. It looks present. It is not. You are watching a ghost. Your life works in exactly the same way. When I was working in my laboratory, I became obsessed with the behavior of electromagnetic waves. I studied how energy travels, how it propagates through space, how it arrives at its destination. And I made an observation that went far beyond technical physics. Everything in the physical world has a delay. There is no such thing as an instantaneous manifestation of energy into matter. Energy is transmitted, it travels, it arrives, and there is always a gap between when it is sent and when it appears in physical form. Every thought you think carries a frequency. This is not poetry. It is physics. Thought is electrochemical activity in the brain. It produces measurable electromagnetic fields. Those fields interact with the quantum field underlying all physical matter. And over time, through repetition, through emotional intensity, through sustained focus, those fields begin to organize matter around them. The universe receives your frequency like a transmission tower receives a signal. It processes that signal, and then it delivers the physical equivalent. But not immediately. There is always a delay. The life you are staring at right now was not created today. It was created by the version of you that existed before, that worried version, that doubting version, that version that looked at difficulty and broadcast fear, looked at lack and broadcast scarcity, looked at failure and broadcast the belief that failure was permanent. That version of you was transmitting constantly, and the universe, precise and faithful as any machine I ever built, delivered exactly what was transmitted. This is why people who struggle the most often feel like they are doing everything right and still getting nowhere. They have changed their behavior, they are working harder, they are trying, but the harvest they are walking through was planted long before they changed. And until that old crop is fully delivered, the new seeds they are planting are still underground, still invisible, still growing in the dark. You are not failing now. You are receiving the past, and what you transmit right now will arrive soon enough. I want to tell you something about the way I worked, something that has been written about, but rarely understood. I never built a prototype to test whether an idea would work. Not once. Every single invention I ever created was completed in my mind before I touched a single piece of metal. The alternating current motor, the Tesla coil, the radio transmitter. All of it was finished, running, operating at full capacity inside my mind before it existed in the physical world. I could see the motor spinning. I could feel the vibration of the machinery. I could hear the hum of the current moving through copper wire. Every detail, every dimension, every measurement was precise and perfect before I ever picked up a tool. People called this imagination. They were wrong. It was not imagination. It was reception. I was not making things up inside my head. I was tuning my frequency to the place in the universe where that invention already existed as completed energy, as a finished vibrational pattern waiting to be pulled into physical form. The way a radio receiver does not create music but simply tunes to the frequency where the music already exists and brings it through into audible form. When I had very little money, when I had no laboratory, when I had powerful enemies trying to destroy my work, when every material circumstance of my life said that what I was attempting was impossible, I had two choices. I could look at my circumstances and accept them as my reality. Or I could look past them, through them, beyond them, to the frequency of what I was building. I chose to live in that future every single day. While eating a meager meal in a cold room, I was simultaneously living inside the completed laboratory. While being publicly mocked and dismissed, I was experiencing the moment the motor turned for the first time. This is what I mean when I say most people are living in their past. They look at what is in front of them and let it dictate their frequency. They allow the physical evidence of old transmissions to convince them of what is possible. I refused to do this. Not because I was special, but because I understood that the physical world is always behind the energetic world. Matter is the last place change shows up. The beginning happens in the invisible, in the frequency, in the decision to stop broadcasting the past and start transmitting the future. I had no money. That was my past frequency arriving. I had a vision that was already complete inside my mind. That was my future frequency being transmitted. I chose to treat the vision as more real than the poverty. And in time, the physical world rearranged itself to match my transmission. Yours will too, but only if you stop mistaking the past for the present. Let me give you a picture that will make this impossible to forget. A farmer walks into his field in early spring. The ground is bare, brown, cold. There is nothing to see. A stranger walking by would say nothing is happening here. But the farmer does not panic. He does not dig up his seeds to check if they are working. He does not abandon the field because nothing is visible yet. He planted 3 weeks ago. He watered. He prepared the soil. The seeds are doing exactly what seeds do, working underground, out of sight, in the dark, in the invisible space where growth begins before it is ever seen. Your thoughts are seeds, your emotions are water, your sustained attention is sunlight, and the universe is the soil, fertile, neutral, faithful soil that grows whatever is planted in it without judgment. Every thought you repeated with feeling last year is in the ground right now. Every fear you rehearsed daily is in the ground. Every belief you confirmed over and over, I am not lucky enough, money never stays with me, I always get left behind, all of it went into the soil. It is growing, it will arrive. And when it does, you will look at it and call it your present reality. But it is not your present, it is your past harvest. Now here is the part that changes everything. Right now, at this exact moment, you are also planting. You cannot stop planting. Every thought you have right now is a seed. The question is not whether you are planting. The question is what you are planting. And this is where the 369 pattern becomes essential. The number 3 represents creation, the seed going into the ground. The number 6 represents growth happening underground, in the dark, in the invisible. The number 9 represents completion, the harvest arriving in physical form. This is the universal pattern of how energy moves into matter, always in this sequence, always with this delay. Understanding this pattern means you understand the delay. You do not panic at the empty field. You do not abandon your frequency because the harvest has not arrived yet. You trust the pattern. You keep planting because somewhere underground, everything you have been transmitting is already growing. Now I need you to understand something that may be uncomfortable, but it is the most important thing I will say to you today. Every time you look at a problem in your life and react to it with fear, stress, or despair, you are not just having a bad moment. You are placing a new order, a very specific, very powerful order. You are telling the universe with the most convincing signal you can send, which is raw, unfiltered emotion, that this is your reality, that this is where you live. And the universe, which does not judge, does not favor, does not protect you from yourself, simply confirms your order and begins preparing the next delivery. More fear, more stress, more of exactly what you are broadcasting. This is the trap. And almost every human being on this earth is caught inside it right now, not trapped by circumstance, not trapped by bad luck, trapped because they do not understand the delay. They see a problem, they react, they broadcast the frequency of the problem. The universe processes that frequency. Weeks later, another version of the same problem arrives. They react again. They broadcast again. It arrives again and again and again. They are not living a life. They are looping a recording. The cruelest part of this mechanism is that it feels like proof. When the same pattern repeats, when the thing you feared actually happens, it feels like confirmation that your fear was justified, that the universe is working against you. It is not. It is working for you with perfect, terrifying precision. It delivered exactly what you ordered. The way to break this cycle is not to pretend the problem does not exist. You can observe a problem calmly. You can take practical action to address it. But you do not have to broadcast it. You do not have to let it become your dominant frequency. Look at it. Deal with it. And then deliberately, consciously shift your transmission to where you are going, not where you have been. This is not positive thinking. This is engineering. You are an electromagnetic being operating in an electromagnetic universe. What you broadcast, you receive. Stop confirming the past. Start transmitting the future. Now, I am going to give you something practical, something you can begin tonight. The first thing you must understand is that your brain does not know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This is not a spiritual claim. It is a neurological fact. When you imagine something with enough sensory detail and emotional intensity, your nervous system responds as if the event is actually happening. Your body enters a state physiologically identical to the real experience, and your frequency broadcasts as if it is happening. The universe receives that signal and begins organizing physical reality around it. The first step is the morning moment. The first 5 minutes after you wake up are the most important 5 minutes of your day. Your brain is transitioning from the theta state of sleep into the waking state. The gate between your conscious and subconscious mind is still open. What you put through that gate goes deeper than anything you experience for the rest of the day. Do not pick up your phone. Do not check messages. Do not speak to anyone. Lie still, eyes closed. And do this. Do not imagine what you want as something in the future. Do not treat it as a wish or a desire. Instead, remember it. Treat it as a memory. Go to that completed version of your life and remember how it felt to arrive there. Feel the settled certainty of someone who already has what they once wanted. Hold that feeling for a full 3 minutes. This is your morning transmission, the first seed you plant before the world has a chance to remind you of your past. The second step is the midday anchor. At some point in the middle of your day, something will try to pull you back into old frequency. A bill, a difficult conversation, a wave of doubt. When that happens, pause, breathe, and for 60 seconds return to the feeling from your morning. 6 deep breaths. 6 returns to your signal. This is recalibration. You are a transmitter. You are allowed to adjust your dial. The third step is the night transmission. The last 9 minutes before you sleep, run through your future as if reviewing your day, not as something coming, as something that has already happened. Feel it complete, feel it real, and then release it. Do not grip it. Do not need it. Do not check whether it is arriving. Plant the seed, water it, walk away. Trust the delay. The final piece of this protocol is your language. From this day forward, stop using the future tense for the life you are building. Do not say, I will be financially free. Do not say, I hope things will change. Say, I am. Say, I have. Say, this is my reality. Not because it is a lie, because it is a transmission. Because the words you use most consistently become the signal you broadcast most powerfully. Speak from the future, transmit from the future, and watch the physical world begin, with that faithful delay, to catch up. There are 7 things that people do every single day that guarantee their future will be an exact copy of their past. I am going to name them without softening them, because you deserve the truth more than you deserve comfort. The first is waking up and immediately consuming yesterday's world. The moment most people open their eyes, they reach for their phone. They download the news. They scroll through other people's fears and opinions. Before they have transmitted a single conscious signal of their own, they are already saturated with the past. Stop doing this. Your first signal each morning belongs to you. The second is complaining. Every time you describe what is wrong with your life in emotional detail, every time you rehearse your problems out loud, you are transmitting that frequency with full emotional power behind it. You are watering those seeds, and they grow. Stop narrating the past. Start transmitting the future. The third is telling your story of who failed you, what went wrong, how unfair it was. Every time you tell it, you are reliving the frequency of that moment. You are re-experiencing it in your nervous system and broadcasting it again. The past happened. It is finished. Release the story. You are not your history. You are your current transmission. The fourth is monitoring your lack, checking your bank account with anxiety, counting what you do not have. Every measurement made from fear is a frequency broadcast of scarcity, and scarcity reproduces. Look at numbers neutrally, like a scientist observing data, not like someone whose survival depends on the outcome. The fifth is comparison. What you see in other people is their past harvest arriving. You do not see the seeds they planted. You do not see their transmission. Comparing your current reality to someone else's arrived harvest is meaningless. Stay focused on your own signal. Your harvest is coming. The sixth is the language of limitation. Every time you say, I can never, I always, I am the kind of person who, you are programming your subconscious with instructions for your future. The subconscious does not evaluate whether these statements are true. It simply accepts them as commands and builds your reality around them. Change the language with precision, with intention. The seventh and the most destructive is waiting for evidence before believing. Most people say, show me the result, and then I will believe it is possible. They want proof before commitment, but belief must come before evidence. Transmission must come before reception. You cannot receive a frequency you have not tuned to. Decide first, commit first, transmit first. The evidence will follow. Remove these 7 from your daily life. Every one of them is a chain tying you to your past. Remove them and you are free. The process you have begun is not visible yet. The shift you are making in your frequency right now does not produce immediate visible results. And that is the exact moment when most people stop. When most people lose faith and return to their old habits and say it did not work. But there are signs. And if you know how to read them, they will tell you clearly that your new frequency is being received. The first sign is an unexplained sense of lightness. Not happiness exactly, just a quiet, subtle release of something heavy you had grown so used to you forgot it was there. That is your nervous system responding to a new frequency. Your body receiving the signal before your circumstances have caught up. The second sign is unexpected kindness from strangers. Someone holds a door. A conversation feels strangely warm and easy. Your frequency is shifting and people around you are responding differently. Pay attention to it. The third sign is the arrival of quiet, clean ideas when you are relaxed. In the shower, on a walk, just before sleep. These are transmissions. Your new frequency connecting with solutions and opportunities your old frequency could not access. Write everyone down. The fourth sign is that old stuck situations begin to move. Something frozen for months suddenly shifts. A door that was closed opens. This is not luck. This is the physical world beginning to catch up with your new transmission. The fifth sign is a change in what you notice. You begin to see opportunities you would have walked past before. Not because they were not there. They were always there. But your old frequency filtered them out. Your new frequency is beginning to match them, and so they appear, as if from nowhere. But they were never nowhere. These signs are not magic. They are physics. They are the leading edge of your new harvest. The first green shoots above the soil. Do not dig them up to check the roots. Simply see them and use them as confirmation that your transmission is working. Your future is not somewhere out there waiting to be found. It is loading right now. I want to leave you with something that I have never fully said before. I died in a small hotel room in New York, alone, with very little money, with inventions that had been stolen and a world that had largely moved on without properly understanding what I had given it. From the outside, you might look at that and see a man who failed. But that is the view of someone who does not understand the delay. The frequencies I transmitted throughout my life were not for my immediate reality. They were seeds planted for a harvest that would arrive long after I was gone. The wireless world, the energy systems, the understanding of electromagnetic fields, the foundations of every technology that now connects billions of human beings to each other. All of it grew from seeds I planted. All of it arrived with the delay the universe always requires. I did not live to see it, but I knew it was coming, because I understood that what I was transmitting would arrive, not on my schedule, but certainly. You may not see the harvest of what you begin transmitting today for some time. That is fine. That is the design. That is the delay, but the seeds are going into the ground right now, and they will grow, and they will arrive, and when they do, the person you will be on that day will look back at this moment and understand that this was the turning point, not when things changed visibly, but when you changed internally, when you stopped reacting to your past and started transmitting your future. What you see today is your past. What you feel right now is your future. Choose carefully. Now, I want you to do one thing. Go to the comments and write this. My future is already loading. Not because it is a nice phrase, because it is your first physical transmission. It moves the intention from the invisible world into the material world. It is the first seed breaking the surface. The universe is listening. It has always been listening. It is precise and faithful, and it delivers without fail. Stop living in your past. Start transmitting your future, and I will be here in the frequency where I have always existed, watching your harvest arrive. Good night and good luck.